Okay, so this is going to be an introduction video of the studio I'm going to be recording my album at. It's called Guest House Studios. This is my friend Brian's studio, and this is where all the magic happens. So let's go.
Welcome to the lion's den. Come into the lion's den. You're entering the lion's den. I'm Daniel in the lion's den. I got it all for you here. This is for Yah and his glory fear. Love, inspiration, motivation, dedication, sacrifice for the nations. We are in the studio. Come with me to the studio. Daniel is in the studio. Let's go to the studio. To the studio. With me to the studio. Daniel is in the
This is Guest House Studios. This is my friend Brian Levine's studio.
What's up?
This is where we're going to be recording our album together. We already kind of started some things. It's an Act of Faith album. And I just wanted to introduce you guys, to show you guys around the studio, and introduce you to Brian. We're going to be all on this journey together. I want you guys to come with us on this journey, because it's really going to be exciting what we're trying to do, the music that we're making. It's kind of like a gospel, Christian, hip-hop type album. So we just wanted to invite you guys, and I want to show you guys around where I'm going to be working and how we're going to be doing things. Today we're going to be working on what kind of microphone and preamp and compressors are going to be good for my vocals. So we're going to be going through that process today, and we want to bring you guys along. But before that, I just wanted to show you guys around the studio, introduce you to Brian. And Brian, so how's everything going? How long have you had the studio?
Things are great. I had the studio since 2002, and it's evolved. I actually had it redone back in 2012 to this beautiful studio you see today.
Nice. Yeah, because it used to be different. You used to have three. You had a control room, you had a drum room, and then you had a vocal room.
Yeah, so I sacrificed basically one of my rooms to get the space I needed. I figured I'll just record drums downstairs.
Yes, you have a beautiful drum set downstairs too.
So,
okay, so what are you working with as far as the board here?
Okay, so this is the Control 24, an oldie but goodie, because I've been using this. Came out in '99, and the controller surfaces these days are ungodly expensive. So I figured, why not just use it? If it's not broken, you know, there's no need to fix it. So I've just been using it. Works for me, and I love it, and it gives me money to buy other gear.
Awesome. Yeah. So what do we got going on over here on this side?
Okay, so on this side I have the classic Triton Pro X keyboard. That's it's a weighted 88 key keyboard, classic. Danny did his first album on that.
Yep.
Over here I have the Keylab 49 made by Arteria, which I use for all like my MIDI type of stuff. Yeah. Works great for that.
Heck yeah, man. And then what you got right over here?
And then over here we have the Roland drum kit.
V-drum,
so every studio needs that. It also works MIDI, so I do a lot of MIDI drums on that.
Awesome. I see you got your connections on the wall and everything.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
It connects right to the wall, which goes straight to the patch bay. And the point for that is I can get individual sounds from the kick drum, the snare. Each one of those sounds goes out onto a separate track.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's beautiful.
So it's like the more control you have, the better in the mix. So
yes.
that gives you more control over it.
All right. And then what kind of speakers you got going on over here?
I have the classic Genelex speakers, and then the NS10s, which they don't make anymore.
Because of the wood, right?
Due to the wood, you know, being basically extinct because you're cutting down all the trees. So I hold on to these. The point of the NS10s is to get a not so great sound. So the point is, like, if it sounds good on those, it's going to sound good on anywhere. So you want to kind of cross-reference those between the NS10s and your main speakers. In my case, that would be the Gentle X.
And then what kind of converters are you working with?
So I've always been a fan of Apogee. This is the Symphony 2, which is very clean, three-dimensional sounding converters, which was definitely a step up from my old ones that were kind of noisy. So I like them, and I'll keep it as long as it works.
Right. All right, then what kind of outboard gear do we have here?
Okay, so here on the right rack is a 4-channel API.
All right.
I use that primarily for drums.
Yep.
Underneath that is the 1073 Vintech Audio Neve 2-channel preamp. Below that is the famous classic Avalon 737 vacuum tube preamp.
Yep, can't go wrong with that.
Which I use a lot. Which is an understatement. Below that is an MP2 by a company called A Designs. It's another vacuum tube preamp, which I should be using more. I just got new tubes, so once I put in the new Telefunken tubes, baby, that thing will probably be used more or just as much as the Avalon.
Awesome, man.
Below that is the Avalon U5, which is a DI box, which sounds phenomenal. I use that primarily for bass.
Yes.
And if I do decide to use the Triton, I'll hook it up directly to that. And below that is the Joe Meek all-in-one channel strip, which I should use more, but I don't. So I pretty much use the top the most from the least.
All right, cool.
Now, on the second rack, I have 2 distressors, which are awesome from Imperial Labs. Underneath that is the 8-channel Presonus, which isn't even connected. So I'll probably just remove that and replace it with a
Neve.
New 2-channel Neve coming up, baby.
Yeah.
And below that would be the Manley 2-channel opto compressor, which is amazing. It sounds like gold on guitar. That one, yeah. And then I have 2 channels of the DBX 160A compressors, which are my workhorses. Below that would be the Line 6 bass and guitar, which I don't use anymore because it got taken over by the Kemper.
The Kemper. Yeah.
So basically all my guitar needs are now met with that.
Yep.
It basically put those things out of commission.
That thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, now, last but not least, on this rack is the 2-channel Pultec, which I use for the EQ.
Pultec right here, yep, nice.
And then the 737 Avalon, which is for mastering. And a 2-channel mastering EQ I had built for me, which sounds probably the best out of all of them. Really good.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. All right, let's check out your vocal booth you have over here. I want to look at that. Check that out over here.
So this is a vocal booth slash meditating room. As you can see, I sometimes go in here on rough days and meditate with Buddha. And then I'll record Danny's vocals. So this room is used to record Danny's vocals and meditate with the Buddha.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. This is awesome over here.
Is this where all the magic happens?
This is where the magic happens.
Yes, this is where all the vocal
and then you got your
happens.
hear back.
So what's good about this headphone system, the hear back, is that the artist can basically give themselves their own headphone mix, which is really essential for a good performance, because the better you could hear it, the better you're going to perform it, because you're more into it.
Yes. Awesome, man. Oh, yeah. This is something new right here that you added on to.
Yes, that's basically just to isolate the vocals even better.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Even though this is a vocal booth, you can never have enough isolation. So you can use it, not use it. It's just more options the better, so you can kind of see what works.
Yeah. No, I love it. Looks good, man. All right, cool, man. Well, let's get this party started, right?
Let's do this.
All right, cool.
Welcome to the Lion's Den. Come into the Lion's Den. You're entering the Lion's Den. I'm Daniel in the Lion's Den. I got it all for you here. This is for Yah in His glory fear. Love, inspiration, motivation, dedication, sacrifice for the nation.